Hey folks, Todd Martin here, your local Louisville real estate broker with Amped Realty, and I appreciate you stopping by my blog. Well, today as we are filming, I believe today is the 29th of January, and it's a little bit chilly outside, so hopefully everybody's nice and warmed up. Looks like we've got a cold front here this week, and we're going to be moving into some warmer weather, so welcome to the blog. We're going to get into a few topics today, and of course, I have Gabby helping me out, and Gabby is working with me to help me get this blog off the ground, and a few things that we want to go over. And really, what Gabby does is she kind of keeps me on track, because as most of you may or may not know, I have a tendency to talk a little bit and can get just a little bit off topic. So if you see Gabby making signals on the other end, that is to get back on topic and quit mumbling. Oh, hey, folks. All right, we're back. Hey, I am so sorry about that. I don't know what happened. We were using a share program to help people out and be able to coordinate back and forth. And unfortunately, it didn't work out. So we're back in this game here. Anyway, so, what I'm doing now is we were talking a little bit about the home market and basically how to save some money. And if you didn't hear that, we talked a little bit about the welcome home programs and how those are controlled by 3 federal banks in our region: Cincinnati, Chicago, and Indianapolis. So if you want to possibly get up to $7,500 in grant money, that's a non-repayable fund. Again, just give me a buzz here, 502-220-4663, or shoot me a text at that number as well, and I'd be happy to discuss that with you. I do have another lender that offers a 3.5% full down grant money the entire year, and again, specific qualifications for that, but we can talk about that on an individual basis. So we've always got different options for you with regards to it. And the good thing about the secondary grant is you do not have to be a first-time home buyer. So we've got some good ways to keep money in your pocket. I mean, you've heard cash is king. Well, with more cash, you feel like a king or a queen. So let me know. Now, the second thing that we were going to talk about a little bit is about the government reopening and how that's actually affecting the real estate market. So what we're finding out is that there is such a backlog of some programs, and we talked a little bit about the well, you all should remember the 4506T, your tax records. In other words, getting those back. What we're finding is those are starting to flow, and then we also had the processing of the USDA mortgages, which is another way to save some money. It's a no money down program that allows you, again, to get into your house with very little out of your pocket. And that usually works on the outskirts. That is not for urban areas. That is for outside of the urban, and mostly in our case, outside of Jefferson County. But you've got to be very specific on the areas in which you're going to go into. So again, if you want to know if a particular house is going to qualify for that particular loan, let me know. We've got a map overlay that I can find out, simply by putting in an address for you. So that will take care of it. Now the backlogs, again, they're just now processing the USD mortgages, and in some cases, us realtors, in order to put in these loans and to work for you on government programs and subsidy programs and government-owned houses like HUD houses, we're required to have certain clearances as well as background checks done. And now those are coming back into the marketplace and allowing us to do our job for you. So that's one of the good things that we're seeing, because again, we're not sure if the government's going to stay open or if they're closing here in 3 weeks, like they had said that was potentially going to happen. Without further ado, I know you all listened to me last week, with regards to, I was taking a trip and heading to Texas, the big old state of Texas. My goodness, it's huge. And I went there specifically for education purposes and visit a little bit of family, honestly. but went there mainly to look at what some of the other real estate companies are doing and how I can help with that and assist my clients back here in the state of Kentucky. And I really found some interesting things. Our markets, believe it or not, I was specifically looking at the San Antonio and the Austin market. Our markets really aren't that different. The average sales price in Jefferson County is about 178,000, and what I'm finding in Austin and San Antonio, we're looking at about a 225,000 price point. So really, it's not that much different than what you would expect. The interesting thing that I found is I stayed with my sister just outside of San Antonio, and my meeting was in Austin. Now that's 65 miles is about the difference as far as the drive time. And when you map it, it says about an hour and a half with traffic. So I'm thinking, okay, that's fine. I'll give myself 2 hours to get there. And one of the interesting things I noticed is that, so 65 miles between San Antonio and Austin, which I kind of compared that to when I was on the drive, the difference between Louisville and Lexington, which is 75 miles. Now, the interesting thing is that with regards to the trip, when I'm driving from Louisville out to Lexington, we've got nice scenery, we've got some rolling hills, we've got green pastures, we've got, you see the cows in the field, you see the horses in the field, you see some of the nice houses off on the backside. Just kind of a nice, peaceful drive. When I was driving from San Antonio to Austin, 65 miles, along the side of the road, there was something every stretch of the way. Whether it be a housing development, whether it be a mall, whether it be a shopping center, grocery store, whether it be a small farm, whether it be a new subdivision, there was something going on. That's the main difference between Louisville and San Antonio and Austin and Lexington, is that, again, I think one thing in Kentucky is we take for granted that we live in a big little city. So the interesting thing being that really what we were looking at was the opportunity. We're looking at an opportunity for growth here eventually. But again, the thing that was interesting is that, we are a big little city, and in Louisville or Lexington, we get frustrated if we have to drive more than, 20, 30 minutes to get to where we're going. When you live in the bigger cities, you drive that every day, regardless of where you're going or what you're doing, it seems like. And the interesting thing is I went San Antonio, I left early enough, and I left as I started getting into Austin. I noticed the GPS said I'm going to be 30 minutes ahead of schedule. I'm like, that's great. That's wonderful. I come up over a hill. I hit Austin city traffic on the 35, and boom, I come to a standstill. I went from being 30 minutes early to 15 minutes late to my appointment. Now, that may not seem like a big deal to some people, but to me, it's very frustrating. So, with 26 years in the military, it was, if you're not 15 minutes early, you're late. So, again, looking at the advantages of the big city that we have here, again, I would say big little city, as compared to Austin, San Antonio, Atlanta, Chicago, San Diego, San Francisco, think of a big city, we've got it pretty good. And I tell people all the time, I would much rather take a slow day at the post office here than I would take a fast post office in any big city, Chicago, Atlanta, Austin, San Antonio, because there's just so much going on. Now, the interesting thing is a couple of things that I did bring back that I was able to learn and ascertain was, one of the interesting things that I saw this particular real estate company doing that I thought was very interesting, and we're going to start utilizing it in our practice here, is that most contracts are written for the protection of the buyer. The same way a rental contract is written for protection of the renter, not the owner of the property. but we have a way in which to protect the seller now with regards to the listing and with regards to the sale of the property, should there be a problem that arises within the statute of limitations in the state of Kentucky. So again, just kind of one of the ways that, we're going to be able to pull in some additional information and protect the sellers with Seller Shield to make sure that they are well taken care of and that know that we've got their best interest in mind when we're representing the sellers. So that I found was very interesting. The market overall, the way things are bought and sold, not much different, but the way that some of the things are attacked are very interesting. I did pick up several good marketing tricks and tips for the sellers as well, how to really do some advanced marketing. Not that we're not doing a lot of marketing already for our sellers, but just ways to do this. So again, when you travel on these trips or go on these educational tours, you get just a little nugget. One little nugget can make a change in really what you're doing, and I found that very, very interesting. With regards to bringing some of those items that are done in the larger cities back to our big little city, and really, I don't want to say shaking things up, but bringing a way in which to do things that people may or may not have seen before, because it's always interesting. In this business, I find that you never really want to reinvent the wheel. Just take what's already working and utilize it accordingly. So I think those are good things. Again, some tips and tricks that I got with regards to marketing and seller protection. Again, two little small nuggets that can really change the way that business is done. Now, with that trip, the reason that I went for that trip is, some of you may or may not know, but what I ended up doing back in November is I broke away from the partnership that I had and opened my own brokerage, Amped Realty. So one of the things that we did with that is that I felt that I wanted to be able to bring more to the marketplace, and by doing so, what I'm finding is that we've got a really good opportunity to seize a good portion of the market and to help our buyers and sellers in even a more of a stout way than before. So again, nothing has changed. Everything is still working the way it is. This again was changed back in November. And one of the things that I think that you're going to see is when you're on our website, which is the findlouisvillelistings.com. Of course, that's www.findlouisvillelistings.com. And I am spending a bit of money to really revamp that system, so the buyers and the sellers in the marketplace really have a top-notch experience, which I think is very, very important. Much more of an insight, very intuitive tool in which to really help, and will allow my buyers to actually be first in line when new properties hit the market. So again, just learning some tips and tricks there. But of course, moving forward. Now, really, the other thing that we're looking at is, we are expanding at a fairly good pace. So we do have a spot that we're looking to fill for, we've got some buyer agents positions that are available. If you are an agent in the marketplace and you're really looking to grab hold of the market and looking for an advantage and some training and knowledge, we've got a tool and some systems in place that I think that you find very, very interesting. Again, just give me a call anytime for a confidential meeting. Happy to chat with you. The other thing is we are still looking for an admin assistant that we need in a part-time position, potentially growing into a full-time, but we're looking for that. So if you know somebody, feel free to have them drop us a line, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email at todd@toddmgroup, like Martin.com. And yeah, we're definitely, growing. 2019 is going to be one heck of a year. So again, nothing's changed for those of you that know me out there. Everything is still moving forward. We're still giving top-notch service, making sure that everybody is taken care of, making sure that no balls are dropped. Everything is working like a well-oiled machine. We're just growing at the pace that now we are looking to expand our footprint and need some help doing that. So again, if you have any questions or if you know somebody that's looking to buy, sell, or invest in real estate, don't keep us a secret. We are always happy to help. Again, we can always be reached at 502-220-4663. That's my direct cell. Feel free to give me a call anytime, or again, email at todd@toddmgroup.com. With any questions that you might have. Again, we're good for references as well. So if you need kind of, your questions answered, you've got some concerns, reach out to us and we'll see what we can do for you. So with that, I think we're going to cut it off here at this time. Again, sorry about the little snafu in the beginning. Hopefully we'll have all that fixed up. And then if you guys need anything, guys and gals need anything, or we can offer you any service or any help or insight, feel free to reach out to us anytime. Everybody stay warm. It's going to be a cold one tomorrow. So bundle up and take care, and look forward to speaking with you and working with you in the future. Everybody have a great day. Bye-bye.